Yo, yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Flesh and Blood stream. Tonight, we're going to be playing some Ira. We've got some more Kansas City prep coming up for you guys. Kansas City is weekend after next, and I am still trying to find a deck. The three decks that I am kind of bouncing between right now is Ira, Volda, and Victor. Those are the three decks that I'm trying to decide what I want to play. I'm kind of stuck because I think that all three of them have a different section of the metagame that they kind of attack and pick towards. So we're trying to see which ones I like the best. Hey, let's go, Trent, with 18 months of that tier 1 support. Dude, Trent, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. My man said jump scare and interruption. Dude, Trent, I appreciate it, brother. It means a lot, man. Martin, Spencer, Mekado, Brock, Ben, Rose, Havoc. What is up, guys? How is everybody doing? Dave, what's going on? Subtrain, dude, let's go. Subtrain. Oh, I forget it's actually a thing on Twitch. You can actually do that. I forget that's a real thing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing a couple people in the chat hating on Guardian. I don't really know why we're not considering Guardian. I think Guardian's actually not a bad deck right now. Especially if we can figure out Volda and we can figure out if we can figure out Volda's gravy matchup, I think we'll be in a pretty good spot. Yo, let's go, Havoc. Also, dude, with the 8 months of Prime support. Havoc, dude, thank you so much for the 8 months, man. I appreciate that, brother. It means a lot. Means a lot. Listen, I don't think anybody's actually dogging on Guardian or anything, but I think that people are worried about how it'll go. So if Volda can beat Gravy, maybe it's the savior. I've heard that it's really good into a lot of things, but that Chum can really swing the direction of it. So I don't know. We'll kind of have to see. I have finished my Volda list finally, I think, and I've been working on it quite a bit. I've been working on it kind of behind the scenes to see what I like and don't like so far. And I have finished the list, I think, and I'm probably going to post it in the Discord later. Just so you guys are aware of what I'm working on and what's going on. So that'll be where that's at. And then obviously, if you're a Twitch sub or a YouTube member, you'll have access to the one with the sideboard matchups and everything like that. So Subtrain is the only time it's acceptable to run a train on aggro. Oh, Rock, that's hilarious, dude. Yo, Liam's on Gravy? Ooh, man, that's sad. That's big sad. That's big sad. But anyway, talking about the Ira deck, there's a couple of things here that I think are kind of interesting with the deck. I'm playing Mask of Momentum, and I've noticed a lot of people are not playing Mask of Momentum. I'm not sure if Mask of Momentum is better than the Whirling Mist Blossom headpiece. I'm honestly not sure which one's better. I know that I've seen a couple different variations floating around on what people are playing. So it's possible that maybe Mask of Momentum is not the best way to go right now, but I do think that Mask of Momentum is always just a good go-to headpiece for Ninja. So that's kind of why I'm on it right now. Taking a look at the rest of the deck, there are 21 blues. Yeah, 21 blues in the deck. And then honestly, Ira is the guardian of ninjas. In my opinion, I think that's what she kind of leans into. Is that she leans into being the mid-range ninja that can have some good plans into things. I really like this deck. I really like the way that it lines up. It's felt really good with everything that I've done and I've tested. The deck has felt very, very clean. So I like the deck quite a bit. I've really enjoyed playing it. There's a reason it's in the top 3 decks that I might play at that I might actually play in Kansas City coming up. But inside of this deck, there are 2 cards that I really want to talk about, and I really want to spend a minute talking about 2 cards that have really impressed me. And the first one is going to be Dual Threat. So I feel Dual Threat has really struggled to find its place in an aggro deck where it can be utilized as just this yellow block 3 that also is a 0 for 6. Ira is the best home that Dual Threat has found so far. Dual Threat does a great job of allowing you to push a lot of damage with Kodachis. It also allows you to pitch it and set it up for a second cycle if you need it. And also being able to throw a Censor for 8 or an Erase Face for 9 or a Command and Conquer for 9 on the back end of a Dual Threat is very, very powerful. And so even though I think this card has struggled to find its place in the CC metagame, Dual Threat has become an absolute staple in Ira, and I love it in this deck. And then the other card that I want to talk about is definitely... sorry, I've lost my pen here. is going to be Sirens of Safe Harbor, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. Let's see. We'll just do that. Yeah, and then... Sorry, I'm trying to take notes when I talk about stuff inside of my stream so I can remember to kind of like go back and like kind of look at other things as I go through it. So with Chum, that matchup gets a lot harder for Valda. With Chum, without Chum, I think Valda's a nightmare. Yeah, I believe that. I firmly believe that, Rose. We are going to finally fulfill our name and play aggro. Listen, Michael, I play a lot of aggro. It just kind of depends on what meta we're in. It kind of depends. Dual Threat is OP. I think it's very good in Ira specifically. I think it struggles to find a home in other things, though. Excuse me. Hey, John, what's up, buddy? Sirens of Safe Harbor has really, really impressed me. This card's ability to be like, have a 2-card hand that's just a 2-card 9 is really good because you're able to pitch a blue, throw Kodachi, and then attack for 7 and gain a life for 9 total points. The ability to jump in front of something like an Ignite or a different, like, cover up a 5-power attack and gain a life is really, really good. Sirens of Safe Harbor might be one of the best additions that we got from the High Seas set, which I know is kind of crazy to say, but Sirens of Safe Harbor has really, really impressed me inside of Ira, and I think that it fits super well into the cost curve, the idea of the deck, and also throwing this thing for 9 and then gaining a life after Dual Threat is insanely powerful. So I really like Sirens of Safe Harbor. Like, I just think that it lines up really, really well. It's just a cool card, and it's honestly, like, really impressed me to just be a common 2-for-6 that I thought was just going to be draft chaff. I think it just, like, lines up, and it's really, really good. Like, I don't know. I just think the card, like, does some really, really good things. I don't know. Maybe I'm on cope a little bit too much, though. Maybe I am on too much cope when it comes to this. But I've been really impressed by this card so far. Just, like, looking at it and, excuse me, just like playing it and seeing it and everything else, it's just felt very good. So there's some other stuff we got in our sideboard that we're hopefully going to get to see tonight as we're going through some games. So let's jump in and let's start playing some Ira games. I think everybody can kind of relate that Ira is a pretty good deck like to start with and to get into, especially with the Ira Armory deck. But I also think that she's a good deck that like teaches you a lot about like Flesh and Blood in general that I think people like. I don't think Sirens is correct if you're not playing the Iris headpiece. I personally feel even bigger than that and is an absurd card in these lists. I think that even bigger than that is good, but I don't know that like our list is necessarily like looking to run even bigger than that. We have a lot of natural go again, so I don't know that we really need it, to be honest. What kind of... You know what? I wonder if I have a matchup guide for this one. Let's look and see. Sorry, I know there's a few chat messages, but I'm going to look and see, like, what I have in here. Oh, I do have a list. Okay, cool. So we are not on Blanches. We are not on Erase Face. We're on... It looks like we're on Fate, Shelters, and Sinks here. Looks like it's all we're playing. Yeah, we're just playing Fate, Shelters, and Sinks, and we're just going to try to get some value going here as we play through the deck a little bit. Making a CNC for 7, have go again, and following it up with a sensor or sound is great. Sure, I mean, that does sound pretty good. Like, giving Command and Conquer go again sounds pretty cool, but, I mean, I don't know how conventional that's going to be, like, a lot of the time, right? I don't know. Sirens fits so well in this deck. I completely agree, Alexis. The base 2-for-7 in Ira with 2-card hand, it's an 8-value play. Yeah, it's really, really good. Is it Humble better than Sirens? Excuse me. Humble's not bad, but I think that like the Sirens ability to like Humble's situationally good and Sirens always does the same thing. I think that's why it's such like a mainstay of the deck. I mean, yeah, I think we're just going to throw Kodachi for 4, or I'm sorry, for 5, and then we're just going to throw Sensor for 6 and see what they do here. Only bad decks play Pummel. Oh. Yeah, I agree. I think the Sirens of Safe Harbor is like a very, very good card, and it lines up very well. I can definitely see it reminding you of Fandle's Fighting Spirit. That makes sense. Kodachi's over Edge of Autumn in this build specifically, yes. Yes, Derwin, in this build specifically. And we're just going to attack for 6. If this hits, I'm just going to name Falcon Wing, I think. Did we just name Falcon Wing? Okay, they have a tar pit trap. Never mind, it doesn't matter. Okay, cool. The fact that it doesn't matter feels kind of nice, so we don't have to like worry about what to name. This hand's not great. Like to have something a little bit better here. I do play a lot of Pummel, that's the truth. Sirens is a 2-card 9 with a blue. Card just pushes numbers. Yeah, it's just insane, right? Like, it's just a good overall, like, number base. I don't really want to take 9 here. I guess I'm just gonna go ahead and give up the shelter here. We'll just cover this up. Just trying to stay ahead here while we can, I suppose. Okay. I think this is fine. I think I'm pretty content with just blocking this out, seeing what we find on top. We'll put cut through to the bottom. We'll save this for a second cycle going in attack. Seems pretty good. Who's that hero we're playing against? Never heard of him. It's funny, Michael. That's funny. I think this I'll take. I think I'm okay. I think I'm content with just taking this one. Oh. Admittedly, I was expecting more. Admittedly, I was expecting more. I was expecting there to be like a Riptide, like they were gonna like play a card off of like Riptide and then like activate it. Like play and like load a card. So that's kind of what I was worried about there a little bit. Definitely what I was worried about. Okay, so they're currently blocking 5 here. And Boulder Trap's going to put a counter on something? Sure. So they must have had like a pretty trap-heavy hand. We're about to get hit by 3 traps. That's okay. That is okay. They put a counter on Tearing Shuko? Sure. And then it's going to be Rowdy Locals. I probably have a bunch of action cards in their hand if I was guessing. If not, I'm okay with... I mean, if they don't have another trap here, I was like, I'm okay with like just discarding this, but I'm also okay arsenaling this and trying to set up here. Legacy of Ikaru can give +1 to any ninja attack, which means we can get people with Kodachis late. And it also means that we can like push over the top on like Bittering Thorns and Cut Through and like other attacks. So I kind of like having it in the deck. It feels pretty clean. It's felt pretty clean, I should say. I'm also on Concealed Blade. We are on both. We are on both Concealed Blade and we are on Legacy of Ikaru. Now, you know how I feel every time you play the horse? I was expecting more. What? Oh, did I say I was expecting more on their turn? Yeah, I mean, listen. As much as I love playing Guardian, I have some pretty bad Clash luck. And I mean, to be fair, I had some pretty good Clash luck yesterday. Yesterday playing Victor like at tournaments when I have a good Clash luck, I win games. Like, so. It was surprising how often Rouse over Pummel helped you with clashes yesterday. For sure, I agree. I got stuck swapping the first 2 letters of Compound's words. Dangerous with Riptide. That's funny, Derek. That's hilarious, dude. I love that. All right, so they let this hit, which means that Kodachi is going to be for 2 because it gets +1 from Ira and it gets +1 from... Huh. Okay. Sure. That means we'll just play the Legacy of Ikaru on something. That doesn't really bother me here. I think I'm okay with that exchange. I lost 3 of my 4 clashes against an Acilio. Ooh, that's tough, dude. And like honestly, like if you play Victor and you lose clashes, you're just gonna lose. And that's just like that is the feels bad you kind of have to like learn to accept. It sucks, but you just have to learn to let it go. As much as it sucks, you just kind of have to learn to let it happen here. Actually, are we okay just letting the Legacy of Ikaru go? Staying in our deck? I think I am. Yeah, I think I am. Like, the inertia, like, ships it away, which is fine. I can block blue and E-Strike here, and I can just go Dachi Sensor, which is fine. Pretty good turn. Just don't lose, Forehead, right? Thaz, tell him, dude. Just don't lose, Forehead. I'm not on looking for a scrap because we're not on a blue package that works out that way. It will be taking 3 here. They obviously are not super happy with their hand here. They're not super happy with their hand. I think I'm willing to block with Knives Out so that I can go Dachi Sensor into Arsenal. The E-Strike is fine. Ira seems like an underdog. I mean, I think that Ira like is a little bit slept on. Like Ira has a really good Gravy Bones matchup, like a little bit of a rough like Verdance matchup. Like it's not terrible, but it's a little tough in my opinion. And I think that like like you just have to know what you're doing against like assassins and other decks. So I think you just have to be a little careful and like just play smart. Just look for things. I would also like to play Aurora. I am hoping that there is like a place where I can play Aurora. I'm hoping there's an LL event, but I think all of ours are like crack shuffle play. Double Lace with Frailty. And a Lace with whatever. What is this going to be for 13? I mean, I like my hand, and I'd like to keep it, but honestly, I'm just content taking the turn cycle off. Yeah, I wish there were more LL events near me.